Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive with us. Today we're taking a closer look at, well, it's in the name, the ICON Airflite MIPS Blegh helmet.
Yeah, the Blay is certainly a choice.
Yeah, it's definitely a name. So picture this. You're in the market for some new head protection.
Smart move.
Always. And you stumble across this thing, the ICON Airflite MIPS Blegh. Maybe the name got you, maybe you like the look of it, whatever your reason. We're here to go deep on this helmet. We've got all the info from ICON's website, the safety features, the tech specs, even the marketing lingo. No stone unturned. You know how we do.
Exactly. We're going to break it all down, plain and simple, so you can decide if the Airflite MIPS Blegh is the right helmet for you.
All right, let's address the elephant, or maybe the Blay, in the room. Haha. ICON's throwing out some pretty strong words here. Raise the rock sign. Wicked riffs and pyrotechnics. See it all. What kind of vibe are they going for with this helmet, would you say?
I think they're trying to capture a certain spirit. It's not just a helmet, right? It's almost like a statement. It's an extension of a certain lifestyle, a certain energy.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting a rebel rocker vibe from all of this, which I gotta say is kind of cool, but what does that actually mean for the helmet itself?
Well, think about the kind of rider who'd be drawn to those words. Someone who loves loud music, open roads, not afraid to stand out from the crowd. Someone who wants to be seen.
And that's where the Airflite MIPS Blay comes in.
Exactly. It's the embodiment of that see and be seen idea. The design, often with really bold colors and graphics, is meant to make a statement. But then there's the practical side. A highly visible helmet is a safer helmet. It's about being impossible to ignore, style and safety all rolled into one.
So it's not just a helmet, it's, like you said, it's a statement piece with a purpose.
And I think that speaks to a bigger trend we're seeing. Safety meets style. You don't have to choose anymore.
And ICON is all in on that idea.
They're appealing to riders who want it all. They care about how their gear looks and how safe it keeps them.
Right on. So we've got a sense of the Blay persona, the rebel rider, the concert goer, the one who wants to stand out, but, looks aren't everything, especially when it comes to helmets.
Couldn't agree more. At the end of the day, it's got to protect your head.
Exactly. So let's dig into the nitty-gritty. What makes the Airflite MIPS Blay more than just a fashion accessory? What about the safety and comfort features?
Now we're talking. Let's get into it.
All right, so let's get down to brass tacks here. ICON makes a big deal about the safety features on this helmet. And one of the first things they mention is MIPS brain protection. I'll be honest, I've always been a little fuzzy on how exactly MIPS works. What's the deal with this technology?
So MIPS, it stands for Multidirectional Impact Protection System. And essentially, it's designed to protect your head from those rotational forces during an impact.
Rotational forces, like not just a straight-on hit.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine this. You're riding, right? And you go down, unfortunately. Your head hits the ground, but it's not always a straight-on impact. Sometimes it's at an angle. And when that happens, your brain can actually rotate inside your skull.
That doesn't sound good.
No, it's not good. And that's what MAPS is designed to address. So basically, there's this low friction layer inside the helmet, and it lets your head move a little bit on impact. It redirects some of that rotational energy.
Ah, okay. So it's like adding a little bit of give to absorb the impact so your brain doesn't have to.
Exactly. It's like a little safety zone for your head.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense now. So we got the MIPS for those rotational impacts. What other safety features are we talking about?
Well, they also mentioned that the helmet meets the ECE 22.06 standard.
Right, which is a European safety certification. A pretty rigorous one from what I've heard.
Yeah, it means this helmet has been through some serious testing. It's designed to hold up in a crash.
That's good to know. Okay, so we know it's built tough. But what about comfort? I mean, a safe helmet is great, but if it's not comfortable to wear, you're not going to want to wear it.
Definitely. And ICON seems to be aware of that because they talk a lot about the ventilation system on this helmet.
Yeah, it does seem like they put a lot of thought into the ventilation. And I have to imagine good ventilation makes a big difference when you're riding, especially in the heat.
Oh, absolutely, big time. No one wants to feel like their head is in a sauna while they're out on the road. They've got this system called SuperVent. It's all about those intake vents. They channel air through the helmet.
Okay, so it's not just about having vents, it's about having them in the right places.
They talk about deep channeling and a nearly perfect rider-focused interior, so they're really thinking about how the air moves inside the helmet.
It sounds like they're using some clever design to keep things cool and comfortable.
And the liner, too, right? The Hydro Reliner they mentioned. What's that all about?
Yeah, the hydrogel liner is all about moisture wicking. Basically, it's designed to keep you drier, even when you're sweating.
So no more sweaty helmet hair. I like it.
Exactly. Comfort is key, especially on those long rides.
So we've got safety, we've got comfort. What about fit? I mean, a helmet can have all the bells and whistles, but if it doesn't fit right, it's not going to do you much good.
You're preaching to the choir. Fit is crucial, and it seems like ICON knows that too, because they actually go into a lot of detail about sizing on their website.
Yeah, they do. They even mention different head shapes, which I don't think I've ever seen a helmet company do before. They're talking about intermediate oval and long oval. What's the deal with that? Well, it means they're not just slapping a size chart on there and calling it a day, right? They're acknowledging that not all heads are shaped the same way.
Right. It's not one size fits all, like you said.
Yeah.
So by acknowledging these different head shapes, what are they saying about the Airflite MIPS Blegh?
They're saying they designed this helmet with those different shapes in mind, trying to get you a more comfortable, tailored fit. Think about it. If you've got a longer head, the pressure points are going to be different than someone with a rounder head.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
I could see how a generic fit would lead to pressure points for some riders,
Yeah.
Headaches, discomfort, not something you want to deal with on a long ride.
Exactly. And by giving all this detailed sizing info, they're giving you the power to find that perfect fit.
I like that. It shows they're really thinking about their riders. Okay, so we've talked safety, comfort, fit all, super important when it comes to helmets. But there's one more thing I wanted to touch on. The Airflite MIPS Blegh. It seems to have a ridiculous number of customization options.
Oh, yeah, for sure. This is where you really start to see that whole Blay persona we were talking about before.
Right. It's almost like they said, here's a helmet, now make it yours.
Totally. We're talking different visors, different shields, liners you can swap out, even customizable side plates. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. So what's the advantage of having all these different parts you can switch out?
Well, for one, it means you can personalize your helmet. Like you can choose the visor tint that works best for how you ride, how much light there is, all that. Or you can swap out the liner if you need something warmer or cooler. It's about adapting to your environment, your needs.
So you're not stuck with one look or one setup. You can change it up depending on the ride.
Exactly. But it's not just about looks, right? Being able to replace parts means your helmet can last longer, too. You can keep it in good shape. Scratched visor, no problem, swap it out. Liner getting a little, replace it.
So it's a smart investment in the long run.
For sure. And honestly, even little things, like they go into a lot of detail about how to care for the different finishes, like the gloss versus the rubitone.
It's impressive. They want you to get the most out of your helmet.
Yeah.
They clearly put a lot of thought into it. All right, so bottom line, what's the final word on the ICON Airflite MIPS Blegh?
It's a helmet that's not afraid to be different. It's bold, it's got a ton of personality, and it doesn't skimp on safety or comfort.
Yeah, and they back it up with the technology and the features to make it a really solid helmet.
Exactly. If you're looking for a helmet that's as much about expressing yourself as it is about protection, the Airflite MIPS Blegh is definitely worth checking out.
Well said. And on that note, we're going to wrap up this deep dive. Big thanks to you, as always, for sharing your expertise with us.
My pleasure. Anytime.
And to everyone listening, ride safe out there, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.